Better late than
Better
never.
late than never. Better late than never.
Hello, all. And
Always
Lorena.
welcome, Lorena.
I love you guys too.
How are you feeling?
Well,
Better.
good. I'm glad to hear you're feeling good. I didn't know you were feeling bad, so I hope you're doing good.
My back.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, Jess, you got blurry stuff on.
You're back because your yields have been so awesome that you can't lift the microgreens because they're so
That's
heavy,
right.
That's right.
What are you got going on here?
You guys, October just did me dirty, is what it is. October was a hard month. It was a hard month because it was my birthday and I had a lot of family coming in, and then I did my very first live event anywhere ever. So I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off for that. And Tracy was such a dear, and she tried to help me through it as much as she possibly could because she is the greatest of all time, aka the goat.
Nice.
She gave me lots of pointers
So
and
funny.
directed me in a lot of great places. Now you're muted, Mike.
He's trying to figure it out.
Okay, maybe he's doing that on purpose.
What kind of live event did you do?
Oh, I finally got vegan night.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just because like I said, it was a whirlwind, and then I between my birthday, vegan night, and then my back going completely out due to all of the shenanigans that were
Yeah.
taking place, even though I had a lot of help. Couldn't have done it without Jeremiah because he lugged all my stuff for me. But still just doing, and it was a lot more action than I was used to. So anyway, it kind of put me in the hurt locker. Mike's waiting on me to shut up.
Nope, you're good. I'm just listening. You're good.
He's just standing there
I
hanging.
was in the hurt locker, y'all. Okay, so anyway, so the event went well, but that's not why we're here. So I can always talk about that tomorrow.
We can save that for the end. We can talk all we want at the end. We'll just get through this.
That's true. This is
all right. So Arugula Grow Harvest Day / day before, but we're harvesting today. This is one of them. We did one blacked out, one non-blacked out. You guys know which one this one is?
I'm gonna say blackout.
That's blackout.
Yes. So you can see small leaves comparative. You'll see here in a second. And I don't think as green, not as more spread out stuff. So, and then the non-blacked out tray.
Yeah, bigger cotyledons.
Yep, for sure. So more time under light really does make a difference, especially with arugula. I think with most of the plants. This is why we try not to black out things as much as possible, because you're going to get a better quality product getting it to light. So trying to stretch it, which it really stretching wise didn't really stretch it that much, really, if anything at all, really. They're pretty close to the same size. We'll figure out when we do harvesting here in a second, but how's everybody else's looking? Do you want to show?
Let Tracy go first.
Oh, that isn't
Ooh,
good.
that looks nice.
Yeah.
The tallest, but
That side's a little down further a bit.
see, that's on the side. This side looks taller for some reason.
Yeah.
Spin it, spin it, spin it.
Spin it. Yeah, that side's going down some.
Yeah. But it looks okay otherwise.
Yeah, looks pretty good. Really. I would just maybe, is any of your other plants do that, Tracy, where one side's a little down further than the other, or
Sometimes.
might want to check your levels?
Or the lighting.
Or the lighting.
Off the wall.
Yep, the lighting reflecting off the wall. Yeah,
Yeah, that could be.
yeah. That too, yep. All right, Bill,
What you got?
but that looks really good, Tracy.
It does, yeah.
Thanks.
Light's not as bright in yours, but so you can't quite see the color, but
Yeah, the color I can't really see is.
it's a nice.
It looks
see if I get
full.
closer
Looks
to
good.
the-
Looks
to
nice
this
and
light
full.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Uh,
there it is.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's nice and full.
Yeah,
They
yeah, it
perked
came
up
back
just
pretty
fine.
well after the water yesterday. It's a little scraggly right there on this side.
That one side down there, yeah,
Yeah,
but pretty good, pretty good.
and
Overall,
this was the blackout. So, yeah, the cotyledons aren't quite as big, but it's overall
looks good.
doing pretty well.
All right, so
Which knife am I using? All right, kids, poll. Out of fairness, I'm not gonna use my really ridiculous big knife.
you want
So-
this knife
That's my OG knife,
or this knife?
or the traditional little knife.
Which knife you want her to use, Tracy?
The green handle.
Green handle.
Oh, you got your long one.
Nice.
I'm a little scared of this one. I might not use this one today.
That's all right.
Jess isn't gonna.
I'm actually
No.
sad that I'm not using it.
I can't see the edge. Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's the one Jess uses normally.
It
For
was
all
been
our
a while
harvests?
since I've done like an arugula with a little knife.
Yeah. So,
You wanna zoom it in?
yeah, I'll zoom in for the harvesting for her.
Nice.
There you go.
Okay, that's what I'm using.
So we'll harvest whichever Tracy harvests first. I don't know.
Which one you wanna give me?
Let's do the bug.
Right there first, okay. So this scale is tall, so I use my glove box to hold the lid. And then I'll flip it around and let you guys see the way. I think you should be able to see it, maybe.
I can't see the weight, but
Well, I'll turn the scale, I'll have to
Okay.
turn the scale around because I can't, I guess I could flip it.
in weight, that
But
direction.
y'all can see and I see how this goes.
She can't lie to you then.
Right, so, if you make sure you see
You wouldn't lie to us.
this. Resume.
Yes. Yes. Ooh, too far.
So.
There we go. No, you're good. It was me. There we go. Good.
Jessica, make some noise so you can be big.
Make noise talk so you can be.
Oh, so I can think, okay, so I'm just gonna some talking, and I'm not sure what I want to talk about, except the fact that this one looks lovely. I got a little bit of dirt in the first cut because, it's been a minute since I've done that like this, so I'm just gonna keep rolling with it.
And if you guys want to harvest along with us so we can find out what your weights are, go right ahead.
I'm gonna do this one first, and then we'll hop over to the next one. So what's the weight looking like so far, guys?
We are at halfway through. I know I can't see the weight. We are at 5.36.
5.36. Not bad so far. All right, next up.
And when you're harvesting, you want to make sure
And
you're.
I make sure I'm using the edge of my tray as my guide. So you can see I just leave my knife kind of chilling out on the edge of the tray. I try not to move the knife as much as possible. That's just wasted motion. So I leave the knife there, grab the next bunch, continue to float across. Check for any dirt. Boop. First seeds. Sometimes you get little seeds, especially with arugula. Grab a little handful. You need to flip across. This is the easiest way I found, especially with using the 6-inch knife. It covers half the tray at a time. It's out beautifully.
It's a boo right there. See boo. Look at all that dirt. That's terrible.
Oh, cut that off.
Yeah.
You got a little dirt.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was popping off. All right, so what did we get?
Can you guys see the weight?
9 point something.
9.64. And that is on the blacked out tray.
That's all I got.
That was an excellent demonstration. If you guys ever want to go back to this and chop this up to show an excellent demonstration of how to harvest in the very beginning.
In the very beginning, back in the day. All right, let's use Mr. Fluffy Neck. He is really fluffy. It's very rounded. Love seeing that. Am I zeroed again?
Yep.
Beautiful. In theory, those packages should weigh the same, but
And this is the non-blacked out tray
this one went straight to lights.
after 2 days of germination. If you guys remember that far back, everybody that was here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright. Nice and fluffy. Under canopy is not too bad. There is like a little bit of an underlayer. And germination is amazing, so we love that. Checking for any kind of dirts or seeds anytime I go across. Again, minimize the knife movement as much as possible. Just because you don't want to waste your motion of setting a knife down, picking it back up. Especially after the first 100 trays or so. Little bit of dirt along the edge. And a lot of that, the edges you really have to watch because if you're pressing your soil, if it goes up along the edges a little bit, sometimes you end up with a little bit of a raised edge on your soil, and then you're gonna get a little bit of dirt on the end of it. Also, when you're gathering your corner, see if you pull it too high, you're gonna pull your soil up. So that's why you take handfuls that are big enough, but not too big. How are we looking so far? Doing good?
Don't get any possible for any.
No false hope? Okay, no false hope.
Don't want to sway anything.
I will say that this method does leave a little bit more in the trays than what I used to do. Sprinkles here and there. With the big knife, I can literally every bit of it. So that is nice. So that does affect our yields a little bit, even if it's just a tiny bit per tray. It does add up over a large amount of trays.
So much cooler.
Gotta find a spot for it. It's
All right. Coming to the end here. Set that 80 on top. So next tray, we got 10.44 ounces out of the non-blacked out tray. So blackout, does it help? Does it not? I would say it doesn't. I think you get better quality product out of the non-blacked out one because you get the bigger cotyledons, you get a little bit greener in the product. Let's look at the final product. Let me go ahead and zoom back out.
Yeah, sit back out. And I'll shove this puppy back in there. These are normally made for 8 ounces, so
So this is what it looks like at the end. This is the blacked out one. So you can see the color there. Versus the straight to light. I think it's a little bit greener, a little bit more color, and the cotyledons are bigger. So
both look
let's
beautiful.
compare them. Yeah. And then right next to each other. What are we? So yeah, still both good products. You know, nobody's gonna complain. But I like the straight to light one, but you know, personal preference like that. They both smell amazing. They smell like arugula.
There's that.
So let me raise this back in
Yeah.
so you don't cut off my head. All right.
Demonstration.
So, did you guys harvest? And who wants to share their weights?
9.1.
9.1, nice. Tracy?
7.5.
7.5. That is a good arugula tray, though. 7.5 is a good arugula tray.
Beautiful.
I'd be very happy a year ago getting 7.5 ounces out of arugula. So we were at one point getting 5.
Yeah.
So
This point since Seed Leaper, it was averaging 4 with Pro Mix.
Yep.
Yeah.
what solar you're using, Tracy?
I'm using Cocoa Bop.
Cocoa Bop.
Cocoa Bop. Yeah. Never used that one. So
Try that.
Bill, what are you using?
You got Coast of Maine.
Costa Maine.
Yeah.
So you can see the difference in the soils. So probably the soil is the difference there, Tracy. Because your grow looked good still. Just had that one spot maybe, but so maybe 8 ounces. If it grew 100% perfectly. So not a big difference there.
That's
I-
4 2-ounce packages.
It's 4 2-ounce packages. That's $20 on a tray of arugula retail. So
Yep.
not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah. Well, more for her. I think she charged more so.
Oh yeah, you charge more on the West Coast, don't you?
Yeah, I charge 6.
So $24. Even better. But I think soil has a lot to do with it. After going through the multiple ranges of soil, definitely has to do with it. But you have to get the soil that you can get also. And it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg to get. So you just have to work within them parameters. So
And the Cocoa Bop you get locally, right?
Yeah. I get it locally, and I think it comes out to like $28
That's not
versus 40 for Coast of Maine or Coco Loco. It's 40 a bag.
Wow.
Yeah.
40. Wow.
Because it's
Yeah.
nowhere near me, and I have to get it from like Amazon. Coast of Maine, it came out to 40 a bag shipped here.
Yeah.
The shipping is
From
what they ship.
them. Yeah.
are you selling the 2-ounce packages, right? Tracy? Yeah.
2 ounce packages. Yeah.
So if you got an extra $6 out of a tray, how much more would that Costa Maine cost you per tray?
I don't know.
I mean, if it's costing you $12 more and you got 16 trays out of it, it's less than $1, and you're gonna get $6 more out of it.
So
Per
that
tray?
works out to do it then.
So I
Okay.
mean, you can't always just look 100% at the cost. You gotta if you can get 9 ounces out of it, 10 ounces out of it,
Yeah.
you're gonna make that money up 5 times.
Okay. That makes it worth it then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, work on trying to get it cheaper. Yes, find a way to get it cheaper for sure if you can. But
Yeah,
Um,
there isn't, because even the places that sell their product don't have that. Like I would drive to Seattle and buy it, no problem. You know, that's
Yeah.
like a 3-hour drive, but I don't care. And nobody has it down there either. They have all their other products, but that. That's the
that's
same
weird.
with Loco. I could never get that either. Everybody carries all their stuff around here except Coco Loco. So I'm just like stuck.
Wow.
It's so frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to get in good with one of the pot shops over there.
It's
See if they
am
know
I
they're
I am. They all switched to Cocoa Bop. That's how I got tried this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all switched. So
Hmm.
You need to tell them how great, you can tell them how much difference the yields are for everybody here and say, imagine what you can get out of your
Other
Yeah.
grows,
other grows.
right? How much better would your other stuff be with this?
Your weed would be so much better, dude. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, even at the $40 a bag, I think as long as you can get the yields that we're getting, Bill's getting out of it, I think it's worth the money because because one, you're space confined,
Yeah.
right? So the more yields you can get out of a tray, the more money you can make because you can grow less and you can grow other things.
right. okay, I keep telling myself I'm not gonna keep switching back and forth, because I had a really hard time with Coast of Maine molding everything. Like crops that I've never had mold on,
Oh, really?
was just mold. And so I don't know if I was just watering it too much.
Yeah.
Because this one is quite thirsty and I'm an over waterer, so it's really good for me.
Well, maybe
Because
that's what you need to
thirsty.
stick with then, you know, like if that's what works good for you, because you're an overwaterer. Until you get things down and get, you know, I mean, maybe that's the best thing to stay with you, you know, so.
Yeah, Tracy, I think I probably whined online or something like it. It's taken me a while to kind of figure out the right watering with the Coast of Maine because it's so different from the Coco Loco. I think I'm finally getting it down. It's a little bit more of the art than the science. It doesn't feel too heavy, but it always feels heavier than the Coco Loco did.
Yes.
And so, yeah,
It is a heavier soil.
yeah, definitely heavier soil.
Yeah.
Yeah, Xavier tells me about that all the time.
Our son who dumps, our employee that dumps the soil out after we dump everything, and he gets rid of it, he complains how heavy it is. Because it is a heavier soil.
First couple weeks were rough. He's like, why did you switch?
So you're like, what, 20 or 30 trays in a bin that he dumps out?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, he complains, but we get better yields, so he can just deal with it.
He does get paid.
He'll get stronger.
There you go. There you go.
All right, so now yesterday, right? So I had some flopping,
Mhm.
just you guys had some flopping as well. So when it comes to arugula, is that typical?
It happens.
When you get in later into the grow, it definitely can happen, and it doesn't happen all the time. It just happened to happen with yours doing it at the same time on the same
Yeah.
grow. So, again, it's in a different location as well than what we normally grow it in, because we were keeping it separate from everything else. So we made sure we knew what we were growing. So just putting it in a different location can make a difference as well. Same grow room, just 10 feet apart in a floor plan, blowing in a different direction, you know, can make the difference. So that probably was the difference for us, but I'm kind of glad it happened because we got to show that you can recover it. It's not the end of the world if you start seeing some flopping down, give it a little bit of water the edge, and it comes back.
Yeah. No, it definitely made me feel better. So I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, just for you, Bill. Just for you.
Have you ever had an issue with gnats with the Coast of Maine?
With what?
Gnats?
Ants?
In the basil occasionally.
Yeah, it's in my basil, and I was like, and I started with Coast of Maine with my basil, so that's the only thing I know of that. So how come that is with basil?
It's probably for whatever's in it, but
So
this is what we use when watering.
What is it?
It's mosquito
is
control.
actually it's meant for mosquito larvae, but it also works on fungus gnat larvae. So it kills the larvae before they can hatch into gnats. I don't use it all the time, but if I start noticing them on my stickies, I have yellow stickies everywhere. Most of the time they're very, very clean, but if I see some starting to stick, I go ahead and add, I make a bucket of water for that, and that's what I water my basil with. It doesn't affect the grow at all. I've noticed that was one of my biggest concerns is whether or not it would affect my grow. And I usually do it the same week that I do fertilizing on my basil. So I do it the week before. It smells. Have you ever smelled a greenhouse and you wondered what that odd smell is? That right there. It's that. I figured it out real fast. It's literally like a drop-ish in a 5-gallon bucket. So that thing's gonna last me forever. I did not realize that.
I'm not gonna open it and show you, but it's liquid in there because when I took it out of that thing, I could smell it.
Yeah.
And you open it, you really smell it. So
It's not awful after a second, but like when it's concentrated like that, it definitely has a smell. It smells like a greenhouse that chemical, not chemical, but you can smell there's something in the air. Because they use that all the time because it prevents, it's actually a microbe that kills the larva. So it's actually live microbes inside there. And
How much do you use?
it's
Very
a
little.
drop per like 3 to 4 gallons.
That little bottle makes up to 5,000 gallons
Oh my
of
God.
this. So it goes a long ways
Yeah.
for what we do.
I bought the bigger bottle thinking I was being smart, and then I was like, I should have got the little guys. So there is a smaller version of that, and it's got a dropper top, which is nice. This does not have the dropper top. So I have to like drip out a drop. The other one has like a little squeeze top dropper. So I would have purchased the smaller one had I realized that.
And what's the name? I know you can show me, but my
It's
glasses won't read it.
Microbe Life. And I will put a link in there.
Yeah,
for
we'll
you.
take a picture of it, put a link in the community
Yeah.
for
Okay.
you.
So it's Micro Lift BMC, biological mosquito control. So we do that in the basil, usually at week 2. Anything over 10 days is really susceptible to that because the larva starts looking like hatching, anything.
Once you get past 2-week grow, really is. So like you can get like the 17 grow beets, cilantro, stuff like that doesn't really have an effect. But once you get past that, that's when it starts really kind of being an issues. Can be.
So the day that I do fertilizing for my basil, I go ahead and just do that for all of them. So it's every few weeks.
You just switch to fertilizing for basil, something else, and they're growing faster.
Man, guys, I will have to share with you some results because they're not.
We might get them done in 3 weeks versus 4. Yeah.
Definitely
So,
share.
so that's another week off the shelf for people who are straining for space, which helps out tremendously. So
Testing it. She isn't saying.
Monday? This Monday,
This upcoming Monday, and I really should have harvested them by now. If you go closer, they're like.
love the smell.
I'm gonna sit there and snarkle. You want to lean it towards the camera. So pretty. But you can see how big they are already, and they were like that size earlier this week. And I was like, I could harvest everything.
Over 2 weeks worth, but
The ones that I did harvest were even bigger. I was like, oh, whoops. Because I was like, I had extra fertilizer, and I was like, oh, I'll just go ahead and fertilize these ones too. Oh. So I did them on week 2 instead of week 3.
so
Yeah.
happy accident. So we find out we may be able to get them done in 3 weeks.
That would be great.
That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's again, shelf space. We love space.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna do
What's the yield that you typically get on basil?
well, average yield is like 6 ounces for me.
Okay.
I can get upwards of 8 on some of them, which is insane to me too. I tell people plan for 4,
Mhm.
especially at first. Plan for 4. Mine are about 6. That one will probably easily hit 7.5, 8. Yeah.
And
We have-
your chefs like the smaller leaves?
They like the bigger leaves, just about like that is perfect.
Okay.
So
See, ours are bigger.
I haven't had anybody.
Are we to the point where you guys cut the video and we're allowed to ask anything now?
oh yeah.
This
Okay.
is like the basils.
Ooh, so big.
Anybody got any more questions on arugula grow?
I mean, my question is about arugula, but you guys probably covered it in the first. Well, I watched the videos that you posted. I just have a question specifically about, well, 2 questions really.
You see the
Right.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and end it. All right. Thanks for joining us. That's the basil. Talking about that, but that's the arugula grow. And that's what they look like. So thank you guys for joining the arugula grow, and we will see you in the next grow along.